Hi, I'm Deronda, and today I'm making this simple and easy candy. They remind you a lot of Reese peanut butter cups, and I think they're just as delicious. And to start this recipe, I'm going to need 2 half sticks of unsalted butter, 1½ cups of creamy peanut butter, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 2 cups of powdered sugar, and we're going to mix these 4 ingredients together, and we're going to form balls and put them in the refrigerator while we're melting a 12-ounce bag of milk chocolate chips. You can also use semi-sweet chips, and I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of all vegetable shortening just to give the chocolate chips and the chocolate that's going to coat these candy peanut butter balls a nice little shine. So let's get started over here. And I hear my kids coming in. Hi, Jill.
Hi.
And here comes my son, Caleb. I'm making these candies just for them. Ooh. Caleb, tell them what you've named these candies.
Longhorn balls.
And why have you named them Longhorn balls?
Because Longhorns are better than Buckeyes.
Okay, well let's get started, and you can name this candy ball whatever you wish. Let's start by creaming the butter. I just use a hand mixer and add in your peanut butter to your butter. Put it right down in there and cream this together until it's nice and smooth. At this time you may also add your vanilla. Now, slowly add in your powdered sugar a little bit at a time. Now your dough may get a little thick on you, and if it does, you may use your hands to work in your powdered sugar. Alright, I've just added the last of my powdered sugar, and do you see how thick your candy is starting to get? Now you just may use your hands to work this into a ball. Make sure you scrape down the sides of your bowl, and I refrigerate my peanut butter candy for 1 hour before I start rolling it into balls. So cover it with saran wrap. Believe me, the chocolate will stick to it much better, and it will not stick to the palm of your hands. And off to the refrigerator it goes. I've just taken my peanut butter candy out of the refrigerator, and I left it in there for more than 1 hour. I left it in there overnight, so it should be very, very firm, and it is. And I take about a tablespoon of dough, or you can do less, a teaspoon, and make it in little balls and put it over here on a plate that is chilled. That way they can continue staying cold. And pinch off as much of the peanut butter candy as you want, and just continue rolling these into peanut butter balls before you dip them in your chocolate. Or you can make them in other shapes if you wish. I've got a plate full of peanut butter candy balls, and I'm going to cover these with saran wrap and put them back in the refrigerator while I start melting the chocolate. And also I'm going to continue rolling out the rest of my peanut butter candy. To melt the chocolate, I've got about an inch of water in the bottom of this pan, and I've brought it to a simmer. As you can see, the steam coming up. And make sure it doesn't boil, which it looks like it's getting ready to. So I'm just turning down the heat before I add my chocolate to the top of the pan. Now this bowl will fit nicely right on the top of the pan here, so the steam can start melting the chocolate chips. You do not want the bowl tipping the water inside of your pan, and you definitely do not want to get water in your chocolate chips. If you do, it will absolutely ruin your chocolate chips, and you won't be able to dip your cookies. You won't be able to dip your candies in them. Alright, I've got lots of steam coming out from my water, and I'm going to set my bowl right in to the pan. See how it captured all the steam? So just let that steam start melting those chocolate chips. And when they're about halfway melted, and I'll show you here in a little bit, you add your all vegetable shortening. Alright, this has been just a few minutes, and see how the chocolate is beginning to melt against your glass bowl. Just leave it over the steam and it'll melt all your chocolate chips. If your water starts to boil, just take it off the burner and let it sit off the burner for a little bit. And then when you see that the water is no longer bubbling underneath, you can just go ahead and put it back on the heat. The chocolate chips are melting very, very nicely. And to this, I'm going to add that 1 tablespoon of all vegetable shortening. This will give a nice little shine to the chocolate once we dip the balls, once we dip our peanut butter balls into it. I've just got a few more little pieces of chocolate and all vegetable shortening to melt, and we'll start dipping our peanut butter candy into it. Okay, I've got my chocolate ready, and I am going to transfer this over to a towel I have sitting here. See, look at all that steam coming out. It melted all those chocolate chips and the all vegetable shortening. And I'm going to put my chocolate right here, and remember, don't get any water in it. I've done it before and it's disastrous. Just got my peanut butter candy out of the refrigerator, and I've got a cookie sheet over here that I've lined with wax paper, and I'll show you the assembly line to get the chocolate on your peanut butter candy. Using 2 forks, and again, make sure they're water free, and take your peanut butter candy, roll it around in the chocolate, bring it up, wipe off the excess chocolate underneath, and transfer it right over here to your wax paper, and use your other fork just to pull it off. Alright, there's one. And we can start with another. Give it a roll, and with the candy being cold, that chocolate will adhere to your peanut butter candy very quickly. And again, wipe off the excess chocolate underneath and transfer. Well, my son gave them a new name, Longhorn balls. And just continue this until you have all your peanut butter candy coated with chocolate. Now, if your chocolate starts to firm, go ahead and put it back over the steam. Alright, I always like working in batches. Now here's my red plate full of my peanut butter balls that I've taken out of the freezer because I've just had them in there for about 15 minutes, and they're very, very cold, and the chocolate sticks to the peanut butter candy very well. And then again, I just transfer it over here on the wax paper. Very cold. Alright, I like working in batches. That way my peanut butter candy can stay cold. And if you need to heat up your chocolate, just put it back over your heat you have simmering on your stove. Alright. Okay, to get the swirls on the top, what you're going to do is take a little bit of your chocolate that's really warm and just swirl it right over the top like this. Okay, well, let me do another one for you to demonstrate. But just get a little chocolate on your fork and twirl back and forth. And there you have it. Let them sit up and they'll be ready to serve. There they are, my peanut butter candies dipped in chocolate. And hey, oh, well, see how delicious they are? Hey guys, wait a minute. Wait a minute, wait, hey, wait, leave one for me. Hey, okay. Well, there I am, one for me. Okay, let's take a bite. Look at that peanut butter on the inside. Nice, creamy, nutty, covered with chocolate. It's everyone's favorite during the holiday or any time of the year. Hope you all give this a try. Until next time, subscribe. Thanks for watching.